Getting all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome to another rebuild challenge. Today, we've got a little bit more of what in theory could be considered a trickier type of challenge, since considering the past couple of rebuilds that I've done on the channel have been fairly easy, fairly simple, you could say. We've won championships pretty easily. We've rebuilt the team fairly easily and fairly quickly. So today's challenge could be easy as well, I don't know, but it also could be a little bit more difficult. So today we are going to be rebuilding the Miami Dolphins, and the reason we're building the Miami Dolphins is because of a reason I'll get to in a second, but we are going to be rebuilding the Miami Dolphins with only free agent signings. That's it. No drafting young players, no trading players, nothing like that. No signing practice squad guys, nothing. The only thing we can do is sign free agents, whether that's sign free agents during the regular season in the actual free agent tab or wait till the off season and sign guys there. Now, there is one exception. I can re-sign my own guys in the negotiation tab during the season. So if, let's say, Tua needs a new contract, or Tyreek, or Terron Armstead, or whoever it may be, they need a new contract, I can re-sign them. But if I choose to let them go, then I have to get them back in free agency, or I just can't get them back at all. And then the only players we can ever bring to the team are free agents that we bring in the offseason or during the season in the free agent tab. That is the only way we can add players to this team. I have to trade away all of my draft picks, or just let them draft people and then cut them immediately. That's also a possibility. I haven't fully decided how we're going to use how we're going to manage the draft picks so that we don't have any rookies on our team. But yeah, we're going to just try to rebuild this team. Now, in theory, it seems pretty simple. Like, you just sign the best players in free agency and then you go out and win a championship. And that may be what happens. I have no idea. I just wanted to test it out and see. And that's what we're doing here today. Now, the reason why I picked the Miami Dolphins, you may be thinking they don't really need a rebuild. They're a very good team, and they are. They are a very good team, but the reason I picked them is for a strategic purpose. Strategery. When I was going through the team selection, I was looking for teams who had the most available starting cap space, and other than the Patriots, who have like almost $70 million in available cap to start a franchise with, the Dolphins were next closest with like 48.1. I think they had $48.1 million in starting cap, and I was going to choose the Lions because they had like 48 on the dot, and then I went over to the Dolphins, and I was like, oh, they have 48.1, so they have more. So I chose the Dolphins. So we've chosen the Dolphins for a strategic purpose to give us the best starting cap space possible to kickstart, hopefully, a successful rebuild. And the reason I didn't pick the Patriots because they had the most is they're my favorite team, and I've already had a significant presence of Patriot rebuild stuff on the channel already, so I felt like we need to go in a different direction. So I chose the second highest team, and that happened to be the Dolphins. So without further ado, it is time to get into this rebuild. We're only rebuilding with free agents. It's going to be interesting, that is for sure. I don't know if it's going to be easy. I don't know if it's going to be hard. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. If you're going to enjoy, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. If you have any other rebuilding challenge suggestions, leave them down below in the comments. And let's get into rebuilding the Miami Dolphins using only free agents. So this is the squad. Obviously, you know the Miami Dolphin roster at this point. Tua, Raheem Mostert, and Devon Achane. I think is how you say the Devon Achane. I forget. I said it right last year, but I don't remember exactly. I need to hear it again. I think that's how you say it. And then obviously we got Tyreek. We got Jalen Waddle. We got Terron Armstead. We've got the rookie Paul, who I'm assuming is probably going to start at right tackle. I'm going to make him start at right tackle because he's a higher overall than Austin Jackson anyway, so we might as well start him. The rest of the offensive line is going to need a little bit of work. We're going to see how long Armstead goes before he retires. That could be interesting. And normally, the best offensive linemen are guys that are on the last legs of their career. 33, 34, 35, 36-year-old guys. So the offensive line is probably going to be a little bit of a patchwork type of build, because obviously we're not going to be able to draft any rookies to fill in the holes. So it's going to be interesting to see how veteran heavy we go on the offensive line. Maybe we get lucky with the free agent class and somebody doesn't pick up their offensive guards option who's like younger, and we get lucky. I don't know. I know that Cesar Ruiz always makes it to free agency. Joel Bitonio is always there. Guys like that who are either super young like Ruiz or super old like Bitonio. So we'll figure it out. Tight end is going to be interesting because I don't think I've ever seen any really, really good tight ends make it to free agency except for George Kittle, but George Kittle was super old when he made it. So it's very, very tough to get a free agent tight end. We'll have to see. Maybe I'm wrong. Luckily, we already have our quarterback in Tua. We have our running back in Achane and Mostert, I guess. We have two really good receivers in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. So the offense is already in a good spot. The offensive line just needs a little bit of work. And then on defense is a little bit of a different story. We need to get defensive line help immediately. We need to get linebacker help because I like Bradley Chubb. I really like Jalen Phillips. I might actually move Bradley Chubb down to defensive line and then start Chop Robinson because I really, really like Chop Robinson. I was a big fan of him at Penn State. I hated that he had to play the Buckeyes because he's just so good. So I'm a big Chop Robinson guy, and I might just want to start him at linebacker with Jalen Phillips because we've seen in last year's Madden how Jalen Phillips, given the right system, can blossom into a phenomenal player. So if we have these two guys coming off the edge, we'll have to figure out the middle of the defense or the linebacking core. But then we move Bradley Chubb down as an edge rusher alongside maybe Sealer. That could be something. I mean, I like Calais Campbell, but he's not going to last very long. He's going to retire pretty soon. We have Poyer, who's going to get older, keep getting older, and then we have Javon Holland, who I really, really like. So it's a weird defense. I think I'm going to make that change right now. We need to make Bradley Chubb a defensive end so that Chop Robinson can start right away. I want him to start his rookie season, maybe even take home and snag are two different things that I was combining. Maybe take home a defensive rookie of the year, but we'll move Bradley Chubb to defensive end, and then he will presumably start over Calais Campbell, and he will. So him and Sealer, and then Robinson moves over to the right outside, and then Phillips is there. Okay, I like that a little bit better. We need to figure out defensive tackle, and defensive tackle is another position that doesn't really get a lot of amazing players in free agency. I think like some of the best ones are usually like BJ Hill and all that kind of stuff, so it'll definitely be an interesting rebuild. That is for sure. Good thing is we start with a decent starting team with the Miami Dolphins, and I'm not going to change their playbooks right now. I'm going to keep them as Miami offense, Miami defense, and I guess all we have to do really is just simulate. I mean, we could take a look at the salaries to kind of predict who we're going to need to bring back and all that kind of stuff. So we have Tyreek Hill, who's locked up. Tua's on a long contract, so hopefully we won't have to re-sign him in the capacity of this video. Hopefully we'll have won a championship by the time his contract is up. I hope, at least. If not, we're going to be in some big trouble. Bradley Chubb is locked up for 4 years. Jalen Waddle is locked up. Tyreek is locked up. Armstead. So we got Armstead for 3 seasons. That's probably the length of his career. He's probably not going to last more than 3 years before retiring. So we pretty much got him the rest of his career. Jalen Ramsey's probably going to be the first major guy that we're going to need to make a decision about re-signing. And it's not like I can flip them. You know how I like my style is when a guy is up on a contract that I don't want to re-sign or I can't re-sign, I usually flip them for picks or other players. And I can't do that this time, so it's going to be a little tricky. Jalen Ramsey is probably going to be that first guy that is going to be a major decision to make on re-signing. Austin Jackson is locked up, but that doesn't really mean anything. We got a couple of guys. Phillips is going to be on that list too. He's the same length as Ramsey, so that's going to be a very tough decision to make on his. Hopefully we'll have enough cap space to bring both of them back because that's what I would want to do. Chop Robinson on his rookie deal. Holland is on the last year of his rookie deal, so he's going to be the first major guy that needs to be re-signed. We're absolutely going to re-sign Javon Holland. That's a guarantee. Eichenberg, we can probably honestly let go just to save some money. David Long Jr., maybe we bring back. I'm not 100% sure yet. Guys that are on the last year of their deal, we know it's Marcus May. I don't think I want to bring him back. Isaiah Wynn. There's not a whole lot of guys. Jordan Poyer, I might get him back on a new deal. We'll see how expensive he is. Calais Campbell, Odell, definitely Javon Holland. It's a lot of just kind of whatever guys, which is good for the first year because that allows me to save that cap space to eventually spend it in free agency. So it's going to be interesting to see how we play this. I don't really even have a strategy for it. I don't know which direction I'm going to go. I don't know if I'm going to go heavy in free agency early on to try to get the best team possible to win before all these contracts come up, or like I don't know if I should play the long game. I have no idea. I guess we'll just have to let it go and play it by ear. But I'm going to simulate the first season because literally nothing matters here. We don't need to scout. We don't need to do anything. We can't trade. So we're just going to simulate the first season, get through it, and then get right to the stats and then right to free agency because that's the biggest part of this entire video. So I'll see you guys at the end of year number 1. Year 1's done with nothing being done. I didn't sign any free agents in the beginning of the video. So we finished 10-7 just base roster, and we sneak into the playoffs just barely as the 6th seed. So that's cool. I hope we don't win a championship in the first year because that'd be kind of awkward. But then again, it'd be kind of cool. I've never done that before, so maybe that'd be pretty awesome. But the stats on the year: 3,500 yards, 24 touchdowns, 5 interceptions for Tua. Good numbers. 1,300 yards and 16 touchdowns for Raheem the Dream. That's a really good season for Mostert. 1,200 yards for Tyreek with 6 touchdowns. 800 yards and 5 touchdowns for Waddle. Beckham had some decent numbers. Good job, Odell. And then defensively, we had 88 tackles for Marcus May. Anthony Walker Jr., 86. Poyer had 80. Oops, wrong thing. Tackle for loss leader was Zach Seiler, or Sealer. I think it's Seiler, actually. He had 16. Phillips had 11. 9 for Campbell. Sack leader was Bradley Chubb with 6.5, so it was a good move to move him down to the defensive line. Seiler had 6, so did Ogba. 5.5 for Phillips. Campbell had 4. And then a few interceptions. Ramsey had 2. Poyer had 1. Holland had 1. Okay. We're producing some turnovers, getting some pressure on the quarterback. Good to see. But now it's time to play the first playoff game against the Jets. Will we go home immediately? No, we win. We beat the Jets. Now we take on the Chiefs. We have to go to Arrowhead, which is never easy. But we win the game. Oh, my God. Okay. I did not expect us to win that game at all. I mean, the Chiefs went 15-2. I thought for sure we'd lose. I thought for sure we would lose this game. But we take on the Baltimore Ravens. Are we going to have a miracle run? No. Oh, wait. Did we lose? I don't know. I think we did. But it's the Pro Bowl, so I don't know what happened. We're in the Super Bowl. Oh, my God. We're in the Super Bowl in year number 1. I haven't done anything yet. I have not done anything yet. And we are in the Super Bowl. Well, this is going to be kind of an anticlimactic video if this happens. I guess we'll have to, if we win this championship, I guess we'll have to, like, flip the script. And make it so how many championships can I win by only signing free agents? I guess. I mean, do I even jump in for this? I don't even know. I was not expecting to be in the Super Bowl in year number 1, especially with a 10-win team going to Arrowhead in the divisional round and then going to Baltimore. I didn't think we win any of those games. I'm not going to jump in. I haven't done anything to this team yet. It's just the base Miami Dolphins team. And they're going to leave us on the cliffhanger of not knowing if we won the Super Bowl or not. Did we get it done? Season recap. Did we win the Super Bowl? Oh my God, we lost to the Dallas Cowboys. So close. We don't win any Rookies of the Year, unfortunately, with Chop Robinson. Lamar wins MVP of the league. We went into Baltimore and beat the MVP and Offensive Player of the Year, Lamar Jackson. That's kind of crazy. 27-21, we lose to the Cowboys. You know what? That's good. I didn't want to win the championship in year number 1 because I haven't done anything to the team yet. And now, knowing my luck, I'm going to go into free agency and I'm going to build this team, and we're going to be worse than we were this year. When I haven't, that's just how it's going to go. I know it. Okay, so some crazy stuff just went down. We almost won a Super Bowl in year number 1, which is something I never have done in a rebuild video. We get X Factor for Raheem Mostert. Okay, that's cool. He did have a really good year, so it's understandable. That's really cool. What about on defense? Defense, we get no dev trait changes. I don't see anything different. I don't notice anything different. Yeah, everybody is just either revealed to what they were, like Chop Robinson, or just exactly the same as what they had been previously. I think Jordan Poyer was always superstar. Ramsey obviously was always X Factor. Okay, so no dev trade upgrades on the entire team except for the Raheem Mostert trade. The Raheem Mostert addition, or growth, I guess I should say. And we will find out. We've got $70K? Why do we have $70K in available budget? What happened? I didn't sign anybody previously, so we only have $70K available. I think it must have been, I think we had the money at the beginning of the season, and then now that I've simulated, the contracts have rolled over, and so more people are getting more money, and that took away all of our money. That's what happened. So we have to free up some money already. Well, this is already going bad. This is already going bad. We have to free up money. So it looks like we're going to have to restructure some contracts. And they took away the button to restructure. Oh, no, you just can't restructure Tua. Did they take away the button to restructure quickly? Or is that still a thing? It is still a thing. Okay, good. I thought they took it away. I just can't restructure Tua's contract. I can restructure Bradley Chubb's, so we'll push some of his money back. That should free up a good amount of money. Can't do Waddle. Can't do Tyreek. We can do Teron Armstead, so we'll push his money back. We can do Austin Jackson, so we'll free up money there. I don't want to go too crazy. I'll just do a couple of top guys, because when we get down here a little bit further, it's not going to really matter if I restructure, because we're only moving like $1 million over. So that'll be all that we do. That should have freed up enough money to at least offer Javon Holland a contract, because I think he's the only guy that I want to bring back. $27 million. That should be enough to get him back. There actually is some guys that I would want. Okay, so we can get Javon Holland back, and I want to get him on a super long deal just to kind of lock him down. And we shouldn't have to offer too much more than what the starting offer was. So how about that? And he's going to come back. So we got him down on a 6-year deal. Now we have to be strategic. We have to put some strategery involved. So I don't want anybody back here. That's just, I just don't want to waste any money on these guys. So none of these guys really matter. Odell, unfortunately, is not going to come back. We probably do need Cater Coho. I don't know how to say his name. We probably do need him, and he's only 26. So if we just toss it up to $3 million apiece, he will say yes to that. So that leaves us with $10 million. Can that get us Jordan Poyer back? It can, but if we want Jordan Poyer back, then we can't really sign any free agents in the actual free agent period, which is what this video is about. And I can't trade him either. He wants to be back, and we're going to lose Marcus May as well, because I'm not signing Marcus May back. So we're going to have no strong safety for year number 2 unless I sign somebody in free agency with the $10 million. I think I'm going to go that route. I really wish I would trade David Long in a heartbeat, bro. But I can't do it. I can't do it in this video. So I'm going to let those guys walk. I can still offer them contracts in actual free agency if I change my mind. But we need to get a strong safety. Strong safety is priority number 1. So let's just go straight to strong safety. Jordan Poyer is the highest rated, but he's also 34. Jeremy Chin and Derek Forrester here. Those are much younger, possibly better replacements. I think I'm leaning Jeremy Chin. I'm going to go 4-year deal, $3 million, and we're going to hopefully have him accept that. And nobody's even offering him, so that should be a good one. That leaves us with $4.5 million to maybe get somebody else. Probably nobody of note. We do need a guard, which is the problem. I mean, I could go Scherf, and nobody's going after him, so maybe I could get him on a super cheap deal. He probably wouldn't even accept it if I offered him this. If I give him like a 2-year deal and take the money down heavily, maybe he would accept it. It's probably not going to be a done deal. I mean, this is super undervalue. Like we are lowballing the life out of Brandon Scherf. But nobody else is offering him, so maybe we could get him. And now people are offering him. So we did get Jeremy Chin, which is huge. But I'm just going to withdraw my offer on Brandon Scherf. We might as well just keep that money. There's no reason trying to waste our time with Brandon Scherf when we know we're not going to get him. So kind of a lackluster first free agent cycle. We are very, very weak in the offensive line department. Kind of annoying. I'm kind of worried about that. And it looks like Achane has jumped over Raheem Mostert, even though he's got X Factor. Very interesting to see there. This team is weird. This team is really, really weird. We've got Channing Tindall playing middle linebacker. We've got no D tackle. we ran out of money at the very beginning. I probably should have prioritized that a little bit better. I'm going to have to do a little bit more managing of that. Yeah, we're definitely going to be pretty bad next year. But that's not even a good thing because we can't use any of our draft picks. So this is an interesting... This might be a little bit more difficult than I first realized. This might be a little bit more difficult. And now we've got draft picks. Obviously, we're in the Super Bowl, so none of our draft picks are going to be very good. We might not even... we're not even going to sign any of them. We're just going to release everybody as we go. Because obviously we can't have any draft picks on the team. All right, draft recap. I guess we'll take a look and see if they drafted anybody good. We got a 73 left tackle. That would be pretty useful. I could really use that hidden development 73 overall left tackle. But we got to cut you, big boy. Sorry. Oh, wait, we can't cut him? Oh, because we don't have the money. I should have just traded the draft picks. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the guys that don't matter if I can. Okay, we can free up that much money. So we cut that guy. We can cut this guy, hopefully. Connor Bird. They took a wide receiver. Frees up $830K. We can cut, hopefully, you, David Hoover, the vacuum. So we can do that. We can cut, hopefully, Bradley Grant. All these guys are normal development, so it doesn't even hurt me to cut them. What about this guy? Tight end, Graham Casey, also normal development. Okay, we did that. Jeremiah Warmack, also no. Man, the CPU did not do a good job drafting. All these guys are normal development. And I probably won't be able to cut any of these guys. Oh, they got us 2 offensive linemen that have hidden dev. That's kind of annoying. I hate that. Okay, so I can't cut Dave Terry until I free up enough cap space. So I'll have to wait until we get that next cycle of cap space. So we'll see what happens. I'll have to restructure another contract or two to cut him. It hurts me. It hurts my soul to cut those rookies. All right, so team salaries. We have $9.6 million. That should be enough to cut him now. I guess we'll try. Where's he at? There he is, Dave Terry. Can we cut you, big dog? It'll free up 1.37. There we go. So we cut Dave Terry. Hurts my soul. Somebody's gonna if they're paying attention to free agency, they are going to get themselves quite the good player. That is for sure. But that is going to do it. I guess we could take a look at free agency and see if there's anybody in here that we can sign. I just can't sign back those guys that I just cut, obviously. We don't need a quarterback. We don't need a running back. I could use a third wide receiver. Is there anybody here that's like super under the radar? Quez Watkins, 2.6. That might be a little bit too expensive. Ezekiel Drummond, an undrafted free agent. I don't think he's the guy that I drafted. I got to be careful because I know that there was a receiver that I drafted, or that the CPU drafted. He's 95 speed. Undrafted free agent. Ezekiel Drummond. He's got star development. I'm going to sign this dude. I don't think he's a guy that I had. If he is, I apologize, but I'm going to sign this dude. He's young. He's 5'9". Maybe that's how we get youngsters on the team. We just look for undrafted free agents and hope they're good. What about tight ends? Who's the fastest tight end left? It's Albert O. Lawrence Kager. Hayden Hurst. Donald Parham. There's some decent fast guys. Who's the cheapest? Matt Reed. He's an undrafted rookie. Does he have a development trait? He doesn't. And he's a 56 overall. Probably not worth it. Offensive lineman. We need guards and I think a center maybe. We can't sign Liam Eichenberg. Well, I guess I can. I just chose not to re-sign him in the contracts. There's a couple of guards here. I don't think either one of these guys are the guys that I signed or that I drafted. I should probably stay away from auto-generated guys, though, because I don't remember exactly what the names were of the guys that I cut. Some of these guys are kind of expensive. Glowinski, Schofield. None of these guys are really that much better than what we have, to be honest. We do need a D-tackle, though. So we got to sign somebody here. And it's probably going to be maybe former Dolphin Jordan Phillips. Who are some of the cheaper guys? Okay, all these guys are kind of sucky for obvious reasons. The fastest D-tackle left Daryl Watkins is 70. He's a 63 overall. Does he have a dev trait? He doesn't have a dev trait. Doesn't mean he's not going to be good. We could probably get him a dev trait if we played well. Who do I want to go after? We need to get a tackle. We can't come away without a D tackle here. Who's got the best power moves? Adam Butler, former Dolphin, I think. Some of these guys. Who's the best auto-generated guy with power? It's this guy, Kareem Bennett. He's a power rusher. He's 61 overall. I'm going to sign Kareem Bennett. I don't think he's a guy that I signed. Again, if he is, and I cut him and I re-signed him, I apologize. I don't think he's one. And then we need to probably grab ourselves a middle linebacker. Deion Jones. He's not very expensive. Miles Jack's only 29. I think I'm going to sign Miles Jack. That feels like an easy one. So we're going to sign Miles Jack. Pick him up. Okay, so that should be a little bit better, at least on defense. The team is still a little bit bad now, but I'm hoping that we can accumulate enough money to be able to be good. I thought I cut this dude. Dave Terry, release. Free up money. There. Now he's been released. Okay. Now we cut him. Perfect. I could have sworn I cut him the first time, but I guess not. Our guard position is very bad. We are in a little bit of trouble there. I wonder if I can move Patrick Paul to guard. If we move him to left guard, then Austin Jackson can play right tackle, and then at least we have a little bit of a patchwork offensive line. So if we move him there, he's an 81 at left guard, then Austin Jackson starts. So at least, so we take away the 60 overall that would have been starting, and we have now just a 65. So it's a little bit better. A little bit better. Miles Jack now starts at middle linebacker instead of Channing Tindall, which I wouldn't have been super mad at because we could develop him. And then we want this young guy to start at D tackle. All right, we're going to be probably worse than we were in year number 1. Definitely not making the Super Bowl. But we need to accumulate enough money to be able to go into free agency and actually make an impact. So hopefully we can do that. And this, now that I'm thinking about it, this actually might be a little bit more difficult than I first gave it a thought. So we'll see what happens in year number 2. Hopefully we still win games, but I have no idea with that offensive line. I have no idea how it's going to go. Let's find out, though. I'll see you guys at the end of year number 2. Okay, I've brought you guys back here for week 18 of the second season. We're currently 10-6 and have locked ourselves into a playoff spot. Pretty much the same record that we had last year, although we could either be 10-7 or 11-6, I guess, with this final game. Who knows? We did go into Baltimore last season, the AFC title game, and beat them. So I'm assuming we're going to lose this game. That's just usually how Madden Simulation works. But the reason I brought you guys in before we finish the season was because of negotiations. As you can see, we have negative $24 million. And there are some important people that I want to bring back. Nobody really down here. That's not really the big issue. The big issue is the top 3 guys. Jalen Ramsey, Jalen Phillips, and Kendall Fuller. Now, Kendall Fuller, we could do without, I guess. We could let him go. That's not really that big of a deal. I would like to get Ezekiel Drummond back. I don't think I'm going to have the money to. But these 2 guys I absolutely want to have back, and they both really want to be here. We just don't have the funds to bring them back, which is a big problem. So how we're going to do that is either bury ourselves in the future by restructuring contracts. I guess we could try to cut people. Who saves us the most money without giving us the most penalty? If I go to penalty, we could cut this tight end. He would free up $1 million with no penalty. But there's nobody here. There's nobody here that frees up money and gives us no penalty. That frees up enough money to matter. And we can't restructure Tua because we already did that. We can't restructure Bradley Chubb. We can't restructure Jalen Waddle. We can't restructure Tyreek Hill. The only guy we can restructure is Javon Holland, who we just re-signed last year, and that's not going to free up enough money to bring back Jalen Ramsey. So we're in a little bit of a pickle where we either have to let Jalen Ramsey and Jalen Phillips both walk just to kind of eat the money, or we have to try some way to restructure enough money to bring everybody back. But with only signing free agents, I can't even trade these guys for draft picks to free up the money because I can only sign free agents. So I think the thing we're going to have to do is just eat the penalty and let these guys walk. Because I can't re-sign them. I have no money. So we're gonna lose 2 unbelievably talented guys plus a couple other guys that are pretty good that I like. It's gonna suck. It's gonna hurt us in the long run, and I don't even know if I'm gonna do this right, but it's probably the wrong decision to do that. We actually finished 10-7, the exact same record that we had in year number 1. That's kind of wild, actually. How in the world do we go back-to-back 10-7s? How do we not win at least one more game? Stats and awards. Tua improved on his numbers, 4,000 yards this time with 30 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. That's a really good season from Tua. Achane had 1,000 yards with 7 touchdowns. Tyreek, 1,200 yards and 4 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle got 950 and 9. And then Malik Washington, of all people. Oh, okay. Whatever, dude. 966 and 10. Maybe that gets you star development. I have no idea, but that's a solid... I don't know why he had such a good year. Maybe he was in the slot this year. That makes more sense. 105 tackles from Kendall Fuller. 94 from Jordan Brooks. 92 from Miles Jack. 16 for Seiler. Tackles for loss. 12 for Phillips, 10 for Chubb, 10 for Burnett. That's pretty good. Sack leader was Seiler with 5.5, 4.5 for Chop Robinson. I really want Chop to dominate. I really do. 5 picks for Jalen Ramsey, and we're letting him walk. I can't believe this. I'm honestly shocked we're letting him walk, but it has to be to save the money in the long run. We have to let him go. We beat the Chargers in the wild card round. Now we take on the Jaguars. We beat the Jaguars. Are we going to make the miracle run again? Are we going to make the miracle run and go to the Super Bowl 2 years in a row? We do have to go to Kansas City. We went to Arrowhead last year and beat them. I doubt we do it again. I don't know. Let's get to the Super Bowl and find out. I don't know what happened. We lost. It's the Chiefs and the Vikings in the Super Bowl. They were 15-2 last year when we beat them. How did we lose this year? They were 10-7 just like us. Unbelievable. So we make it to the AFC Championship 1 year, or twice. We make it to the Super Bowl 1 year. I mean, we're having a good simulation. We're just not getting the job done in the end. Which is probably for the best, because it's only been 2 years and I really haven't done much in terms of free agent rebuilds. It's kind of just been simulating the Dolphins. All right, so unfortunately, we have to now let some guys go, and I doubt losing these guys is going to help us. So it's going to be sad. It's going to be a sad, sad day. Lamar Jackson wins another MVP. We don't win any awards. J.J. McCarthy actually beat the Chiefs. For some reason, J.J. McCarthy just simulates really, really well, which is really strange. I don't know why that's the way that it is. Oh, but we're going to be such a bad team next year without these guys. Such a bad team. We freed up $5 million with all the flip over of contracts. Yep. But Jalen Phillips is going to cost way too much money. Way too much money. And I can't re-sign Jalen Ramsey. I guess I could franchise tag. I could do that. But do I really want to? Probably not. I might be able to snag Ezekiel Drummond. Yeah, I can re-sign Ezekiel Drummond back. But I should probably not even waste that money on those guys. I think I need to keep this money and just let everybody walk. Oh, that's tough. That's really, really tough. Everybody's leaving me. Everybody's leaving me. But we have $41 million in free agency, or in cap room now, because we let those guys leave. And now if I want them back, I have to pay them here. And I have to compete with everybody. Oh, there's some decent people here, though. I thought that was Bijan Robinson, but then I saw the junior. I was like, oh, he's not the same guy. Okay, let's take a look at the team first before I even choose to spend this money. What do we need? I know we're going to need offensive line. So if we generate this, yeah, our offensive line is garbage now because Armstead is gone. We lost our tight end, so we have nobody there. We've still got Tua. We've got the two wide receivers. Malik Washington somehow didn't go up to star development, which is kind of crazy. I feel like he should have with that season. Raheem Mostert's gone. We knew that. Defensively, we are in a rough state, aren't we? we're just in a rough state in general. We need to we can't spend it on too many good players. We need to spend it on a bunch of really, really solid players. We need another middle linebacker. We need another D tackle. We need another corner. We need offensive line out the wazoo. So I think we need to spend this $41 million on a bunch of players and not just on one really, really good player. I'd love to get Kyle Pitts. We do need a tight end. I want to bring back Jalen Phillips. We don't need a quarterback. We don't need a running back. We could use a wide receiver, a third wide receiver. But, I mean, Malik, whatever his name is, did fine. So maybe we don't need another wide receiver. We do need a tight end. The obvious choice is to go after Kyle Pitts. But if I go after Kyle Pitts, that leaves us with half our money's gone if I go after Kyle Pitts. So I feel like that's not the right idea. We need a left tackle. Out of the guys that want to be here, there's not really a ton of options. We could go DJ Humphries. The smart thing to do would be go after Rasheed Walker because he's an 80 and he's 26. Because who knows how long David Bakhtiari is going to be here before he retires, and then we're just back to the square one. So maybe we go after Rasheed Walker. I know he's only normal development, but I feel like that's the smarter thing to do. So Rasheed Walker, we offer him that contract. We need a left guard, or I guess we need a right guard since we have, but Kendrick Green's here. He's only 27. We do need a center, I think. Josh Myers is 28. That might not be that bad. A lot of the guys that want to be here, I don't want them. So that's the problem that I'm facing right now. Josh Myers might have to be the guy. Hopefully we can get him on a decently cheap deal. We got to be really penny pinching with the guys that we offer here. Right guard. I mean, maybe Muti. Maybe Dylan Reduns. Lakin Tomlinson's too old. Unfortunately, these guys just don't have development traits. There's a 22-year-old, but 66 is not really the direction I need to go in. We need to be going up, which I'm thinking it either needs to be Reduns or Muti. I think I'm going to go Reduns, or Radins, however you want to say his name. All right, so we're going to offer him. We got two more guys that we can offer in this first period. Right tackle, we have Austin Jenkins. But Trevor Penning's also here. We might need to go for Trevor Penning. Because we can move around the line. I think I might need to offer Trevor Penning. If we offer him that, I know he's got some offers already, but we should be able to outbid them. We got one more offer we can do in this first little period. One little offer we can do. I think I'm going to save D-tackle for the next round of offers. I can't afford Jalen Phillips. I would love to bring him back. I wish I didn't have to leave him in the first place. We absolutely need a middle linebacker, and Ivan Pace might not be a bad one. I've seen Ivan Pace develop. I think he developed in that middle linebacker, or that Vikings rebuild that I did. So I think I'm going to go Ivan Pace. And he's probably going to be one of our last guys we can offer. Bring back Ivan Pace. That's the final guy that we can offer, at least right here. So we've offered Rasheed Walker, Ivan Pace, Josh Myers, Dylan Reduns, and Trevor Penning, trying to fix the offensive line. We'll evaluate offers. Everybody chose to sign, and we got everybody. Perfect. Everybody that I wanted, we got. Jalen Phillips still hasn't made an offer yet, or made a decision yet. D-tackle we need to go after. So who can we get? Who's a good option here? I mean, pretty much anybody at the top here is going to be better than what we have. Ooh, who are you? Jeremiah Warmack has made it to the second day of free agency. He's 23 with star development. He'd be our last guy that we can offer, though. But I think it's for the best if we go this direction. Because I don't think I can pick up a corner. There's a couple decent ones. Andrew Booth, Emmanuel Mosley. Is there anybody here I can get for pennies on the dollar? Probably not. And it probably wouldn't even be worth going after in the first place. Yeah, some of these guys probably aren't even worth it even if I could offer them. So we've got the one guy targeted, which is Jeremiah Warmack. Hopefully he accepts, and he did. So we bring in a lot of good depth. Well, a lot of, not really even depth. These guys are going to be starters. And I think that said that Kyle Pitts signed with the Bucks. So we're going to be without a tight end this year. Rasheed Walker, okay. I like the way the offensive line's working. I mean, Trevor Penny's a 70 overall tight end. Maybe we just start him there. Or I guess I could turn one of my receivers into a tight end. How big are these guys? 5, not Malik Washington. 5'9" is not a receiver or a tight end. How about this guy? Taj Washington's also 5'10". Taj Washington from USC. We have history with him on the channel. I like Taj. So none of those guys can be tight ends. What about this dude? Who is this dude with his meatball type head? 6 foot Cooper Jones. You know what? It's not going to be good, but you're going to be a tight end for us, big boy. You're a 6 foot dude with a massive head, and you're now a tight end. He's a 63. That's better than what we had with Connor. So I'll take that. Defensively, Ivan Pace, Jordan Brooks. Okay, we're still pretty thin, but that's all I can do. I can't sign anybody else. We need to get the new money circulating. That's everything, though. That's kind of annoying. It's everything we can do. At least I did like the decision. I like the decision for going after more depth, and obviously I could have brought back, probably got Jalen Phillips and Kyle Pitts in the same deal, but that wouldn't have been smart. I needed to fill out the rest of the team. And I think this year I'm going to... Oh, I can't trade. That's right. I was going to trade away all my draft picks. I can't do that. So I guess we just have to draft them and cut them like I did the previous time. So hopefully we'll have the money to do so. We're not going to be picking very high, so the first round pick's not going to be super expensive. And we should be able to cut the lower tier guys as well. Although we have negative $7 million, so probably not. We can upgrade Raduns. I hope this year goes well. I feel like I finally made an impact in free agency. We finally drafted guys. Or we finally signed guys. Can I cut these guys? Probably not. I don't think I have the money. Cut. Okay, I can free up money there. The only guy I'm probably not going to be able to cut is that first round pick. Just like last year. So we'll cut you. We will cut you. I'm freeing up 700K. 600K. That's decent. It's not going to really do much in the long run, but... Oh, this guy's a wide receiver with star development. I'd love to keep him, man. I'd love to keep him. What about this guy? Probably not. Earl Dillard, a tight end. Oh, we can free up 20K. Okay, that's good. We cut him. What about this? I doubt we can cut Kamani Nelson. Although he's normal development. Yeah, we can. We don't have the cap room. We'd incur a penalty of $6.2 million. Put him over the salary cap. So we can't cut him just yet. I think we need to wait just like we did with the other guy, the tackle. All right. Sucks to lose those guys, but that's not the point of the video. That is not the point of the video. Year number 3. I finally feel like I've made a stamp on the team by signing free agents. Nobody amazing, but we did build this offensive line decently. And signing Trevor Penning I like. We're going to keep him around. The team's weird, but it's still decently good. It's not great by any means. It's actually probably kind of bad. But it is going to have to get the job done. Now we have Tyreek in the slot. We have... I want Achane to get all the... yeah, I want Achane to get all the minutes. Or all the reps. We should probably have Malik Washington play the slot. So that he can continue to grow. Because Tyreek's going to play good no matter what. So we should probably either... Him or Taj. We should either have one of those two guys play the slot. So I'm going to choose Malik since he had such a good year last year. All right, offensive line's actually probably the best it's been in a while. We did bring in Josh Myers as well, so we have a couple backups. I like that. We have Penning and we have Myers, who we can rely on in the future, depending on when Brewer's contract is up, which probably is this year. It's going to be a wild one. I will say that much. It's going to be a wild ride. But we will see what happens. Actually, how much money do we have now? We have the 4.4. Does that mean I can cut that rookie now? He was a wide receiver, I think. Oh, maybe he wasn't. What was he? Oh, was he a corner? I think he was a corner. Let's find him here. Defensively, what was his name? Was it this guy, Ellis? Jonathan Ellis? No, 1 year in the league. I don't know how we got you, but I don't think you were a rookie that we drafted. I don't remember, though. Who was that guy? What was that guy's name? Maybe I had to generate best lineup to find him. Oh, was it this guy? Come on, it was Kamani Nelson. That's right. Okay. Release. We freed up, but we incurred a penalty of 6.2. Yeah, so we took a tough penalty to have to cut that rookie, but we had to do it. We had to free up or get rid of the rookie that we drafted. Couldn't have him on the team. And now I got to make sure that Malik Washington's back here. All right. I don't know how we're going to go in Season 3. I assume we're going to be as good as we have been. I don't know if we're going to have the playoff success that we've had. I don't know. This is weird. Losing Jalen Ramsey, losing Jalen Phillips is pretty tough. But I feel like we replaced them adequately. Not great, but adequately. And it's all about that money. We got to free up enough money to make this work. It's going to be pretty wild. I'll see you guys at the end of year 3. So at the end of year number 3, the quality of the team has finally come back to bite me. We finished 7-10 and missed the playoffs. Not surprising by any means, considering the way that the past 2 years have gone in terms of losing all of our talent, but I figured it would come back to bite me at some point. It finally has. 3,600 yards, 29 touchdowns for Tua Tagovailoa. Very good. 1,000 yards for Achane with 3 touchdowns, so not really getting any usage on the ground in terms of touchdowns. Waddle had almost 1,000 yards. Tyreek almost had 1,000 yards. Both had 7 touchdowns. Malik Washington in the slot got 700 yards and 5 touchdowns. I don't think that's going to be good enough to make any impact in terms of dev trade upgrade, but maybe. You never know. And then defensively, Ivan Pace had a killer year with 107 tackles. Brooks had 81. So did Jonathan Ellis. 80 for Jeremy Chin. Jeremiah Warmack, the free agent D tackle, was star development. I think he was like 23 years old. He had a monster year. Let's go. That ends up being a really, really huge signing. I'm very happy. And Cam Smith had 4 interceptions as well. That tackle signing ends up being massive. Oh, I'm happy about that. Very happy about that. I really hope that when we get to the offseason, we have money, because we're going to be in trouble if we don't. Because we're not a great team. The Vikings are back in the Super Bowl, but you know how Madden likes to work. The Vikings won the Super Bowl the previous year. I doubt they win it back-to-back. They rarely ever give you back-to-back champions. Although they did it this year. Okay, Madden, maybe they changed. Maybe they changed their heart. Patrick Mahomes wins MVP of the league, as you would expect, and JJ wins another MVP and Super Bowl. Good for him. We have $78 million to work with. That's good. That's a good amount of money. I just wish it was last year when we could have brought back Jalen Phillips and Jalen Ramsey. Okay, let's go to the re-sign period, because I haven't done anything with that. So we still have all those guys. And $78 million to work with is good. What about the dev trade upgrades, possibly? Any dev trade upgrades? Nothing on the offense. Still Malik Washington, normal development. Defensively, Ivan Pace I was hoping would go to star. And Warmack still, with the season that he had, didn't go up at all. Man, I was really hoping he would too. Okay, so no dev trade upgrades. I didn't see any dev trade upgrades at all. Kind of annoying. But let's get to the important part. Negotiations. $78 million. Achane, chop, we accept his option. Although I probably should just get him on a contract now. Tyreek wants so much money. Cam Smith, Jordan Brooks. Okay, so there's some important people we need to bring back. But Tyreek, I don't know if I can. He wants so much money. That would be most of our money if I brought back Tyreek. And he's super old, too. I mean, I know he's super good, but I can probably get Devon on that kind of deal, and he's going to come back. So that saves us $70 million, or that keeps us at $70 million. Got to get Cam Smith back. Now we're down to $65 million. Jordan Brooks I would like back. I have to pay him a little bit more because he doesn't want to be here. That's okay. He's going to come back. 57 million. Seiler's been a good player for us, so I'd bring him back. He's a little bit expensive, but he's going to come back on, what did I get him on, 2 or 3 year deal? 2 or 3 year deal, something like that. We should probably also, we got to get Aaron Brewer back. He's one of our starting offensive linemen, so if we can do that, he's going to come back. Austin Jackson, I feel like we need to bring back as well. Losing Tyreek for nothing hurts my heart, but it just has to happen because we need to bring back everybody else. So, oh, it hurts to lose him. It really does hurt to lose him. And then Jason Sanders, I mean, we don't really need a kicker, but I guess I'd pay him that just until. So we have $20 million. I couldn't even bring back Tyreek if I wanted to. Oh, losing Tyreek for nothing is brutal. Not being able to trade him sucks. But just like, I mean, we started with $78 million. Now we're down to 31.5. That feels weird. But Tyreek's going to go somewhere else. Jair is here. That'd be a really good replacement, but that'd be the only guy that I could offer if I was going to do that. Wide receivers. There's a Trey Tucker option. Tutu Atwell. Jonathan Mingo is interesting. Trey Palmer. Quentin Johnston. Maybe we just go like super budget and go super young. And maybe Tua can help these guys out. Let's go Trey Palmer because he's very fast, and that's what the Dolphins like. So we'll go Trey Palmer, and then we'll go either Jalen Hyatt or Quentin Johnston, and probably Jalen Hyatt because he's faster. So we'll offer these guys deals, and hopefully they'll both accept. Tight end. I think I actually need a real tight end. I know that Michael Mayer is available. That might be our option. Maybe we go Michael Mayer and just get a tight end out of the way. It's going to be pretty expensive, but hopefully he chooses to come here. And now we go to the offensive line again. Offensive line is going to be expensive. There are some options available that could really improve the team. We just don't really have the money to make that move. Lucas Van Ness being here is really interesting because we could stand him up and be an outside linebacker if I needed to. Tyree Wilson being here is cool. He has got no offers. There's some good players left. We just don't really have the money to make any moves. Oh, there's Kamani Nelson, the guy that we drafted and cut. So it would be wrong for me to go after him. Well, we do need to bring in a corner. Maybe it's DJ Turner. Or Keely Ringo. Maybe DJ Turner. Let's go for that. So we offer DJ Turner. That leaves us with $7 million. I'd really like either Tyree Wilson, Van Ness, or Drew Sanders. I can't obviously get them all. Tyree's got no offers. I might be able to snag a deal for Tyree Wilson if I can lower this offer. He might reject it, but there's a chance that he doesn't. Oh, he's not accepting this. I know he wants to be here, but there's no way he accepts that offer. Somebody else is going to go in on him. So we're going after Tyree Wilson, Michael Mayer, DJ Turner, Jalen Hyatt. Maybe since nobody's going after Mayer, I can withdraw. Okay, let me withdraw the offers on Mayer and on Tyree Wilson. And let's go back and renegotiate with them. Because nobody's going after Michael Mayer. So I feel like I can get him on a little bit of a cheaper deal. And then maybe that'll free up just a slight bit more amount of money for Tyree Wilson. if I go with the normal 4-year deal that I was going to do. We'll take it down to $4 million. And we take it down to 5. That's a little bit better of an offer. Slightly better. It's not a great offer still, but it's a better offer than what I originally gave him. So if we do that, I don't know if they're going to sign. I hope they do. We got DJ Turner, Trey Palmer, and Jalen Hyatt. Tyree Wilson's now getting offers from the Chargers. He can still pick us. We got Michael Mayer. Sign with us, Tyree. Oh, he chose either the Patriots or the Dolphins, somebody else. Okay. So we got a few extra pieces. We replaced Tyreek Hill with a couple of young, fast receivers. We get a new tight end, which is an actual tight end and not that stupid dude that we had previously. So Jalen Waddle, Malik Washington, Trey Palmer, Jalen Hyatt. It's not a great wide receiver room, but it's a wide receiver room, that is for sure. Offensive line's still a little brutal. Tight end now. And then a defense, we add in DJ Turner, which is nice. So hopefully that'll work. I like this 1-2 punch at middle linebacker. Chop is obviously a stud. I think this is Mohamed Kamara. Yeah, Mohamed Kamara. He's fine. He's still pretty young, so he should be able to get the job done. But that's about all the money that I can spend. We just don't have really anything else. We have $8 million, and I'd rather keep that, I think. Maybe I can make something happen. But at what position? Maybe offensive line, probably. Maybe like a right guard, Will Freeze, City So. Dalton Reisner at 75 overall. He wants to be here. Maybe I can grab him for something. Oh, I can't. I was trying to evaluate the offer. I can't do that. I hope that I can get him, and then maybe, just maybe, that'll help the offensive line look a little bit better. So if we go here, did he accept? I assume he did. If we go to generate best lineup, he's there. Okay, so the offensive line, in terms of overalls, looks slightly better. We'll see what happens. The wide receiver room is a little bit brutal, but we will see what happens. I'm going to keep the rest of that money because there's really nobody else that I can go after. Oh, but this is quite the interesting little rebuild. This is definitely trickier than I thought it was going to be. I will say that. This is definitely trickier than I thought it was going to be. I kind of assumed it was going to be fairly simple, and maybe I've made it more difficult than it needed to be by messing up some of the negotiations and messing, like, not managing the cap very well. That's possible. But I guess that just adds to it, I guess. I don't know. Oh, they got us a hidden dev. Oh, I hate cutting these guys. I hate cutting these guys. I really wish I didn't. I really, really wish I didn't. A couple of hidden dev players that could end up being good for us. We'll never know. Because we have to cut them. It's a sad, sad world we live in. It's a sad, sad world we live in. And a wide receiver with hidden dev? Oh my god. I can't cut him. We're over the salary cap on that wide receiver. And then on Buckner, I'd assume I can't cut him either. Kamani Buckner, he looks like a freak. But he's way too expensive right now to cut. So we'll have to hopefully cut those guys a little bit. Luckily, they both have hidden devs, so I should be able to find them pretty easily. But we start year number 4, and we are in a weird situation, that is for sure. We are in a weird, weird situation. Where I feel like we are a decent team, but we're not a great team. Joe Holcomb is going to get cut. We have to hit a big penalty to cut him, but that's what we have to do. We can't have any rookies on the team. We can't draft, so bye-bye Kamani Buckner, who looks like a really good player. That's a big penalty we just ate right there. But we had to do it. Had to do it. All right, generate the best lineup. Why is Reisner not starting at guard? He needs to start at right guard. Patrick Paul's done a really good job of developing. We're going to go to the depth chart, and we are going to have Dalton Reisner start at guard. Just makes the most sense. So we're going to do that. And if you're wondering, we're pretty deep into the video. If you're wondering what I'm drinking, it is Logan Paul juice. I'm drinking Prime. It's Meta Moon flavored. So if you're wondering what I've been drinking on this video, that is what it is. As we start season number 4, I feel like we're in a weird good spot, but a weird bad spot also. Like, we're kind of in no man's land. I don't think we're good enough to make the playoffs, but we're not bad enough to be a bad team. And even if we are a bad team, it doesn't really matter. I probably should be using the training camp feature, shouldn't I? To try to get our offensive linemen up a little bit. It doesn't matter. It's not like we have any rookies anyway to try to help them. All right, I guess season 4 is where we simulate to, the end of it at least. And hopefully we are a good football team and we can win a championship and we can be over with this. I don't know. Let's find out. Okay, so we have returned to the playoffs here in year number 4. 13 wins, the best we've ever done. And this was the most shaky I had felt about the team since we started, and we won the most games. So maybe I should just feel that shakiness with the team the rest of the way through, and we'll play really good. Maybe that's how it works. I don't know. But apparently I put together a team that can win 13 games. 3,500 yards, 32 touchdowns for Tua Tagovailoa, 5 interceptions. Solid season from Tua. 1,100 yards and 9 touchdowns from Achane. Good season from him. Really good season. 2 1,000-yard receivers. Malik Washington. What? Malik Washington had 1,200 yards and 13 touchdowns over Jalen Waddle, who only had 1,000 with 7 touchdowns. Malik Washington, 90 catches? I better see Malik Washington go to the moon. I mean, this is fantastic. I guess all he needed was to be out of the shadow of Tyreek Hill. Who knows? But that's a fantastic season from Malik Washington. Wow. Ivan Pace killed it with tackles, 95. Jeremy Chin had 76, 74 for Cam Smith. Tackle for loss leader was Bradley Chubb with 15. He had a dominant year, too. That could be Defensive Player of the Year with that amount of sacks. Seiler had 13. I'm glad we brought him back. He's been a constant contributor. Chop Robinson had 8. Sack leader was obviously Chubb with 14.5. Chop had 10.5. 4.5 for Brooks. Interception leader is Ivan Pace with 4. 3 for Smith. 2 for 1 for 1 for. Okay, so we got it. Good season. We make the playoffs again. Can we do any damage in the playoffs? Can we beat the Chargers? Okay. Okay, we are playing in the divisional round against the Baltimore Ravens, who are 14-3. 14-3. That's going to be a tough matchup. But we've taken on the Chiefs earlier in the video, who were 15-2, and beat them. Oh my God, the Jaguars won 16 games. That's crazy. I don't know what the Jaguars are doing, but 16 games is pretty crazy. That's an insane season. I really, really hope. I mean, this is a stacked Final Four with the Jaguars winning 16 games. This is a stacked Final Four. I have no idea what's going to happen. I have absolutely no way to know what's going to happen. But I think we can get it done. I hope we can get it done. I mean, we've taken on teams better than this in the past. I mean, I don't know, man. I do not know. Oh, my God. Please get it done. Oh, we did it. 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 We're taking on the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC Championship. And you know what? We're deep into the video. I'm jumping in for these. I'm jumping in for the AFC Championship, and I'm jumping in for the Super Bowl if we make it there. And it looks like the Chiefs, I didn't even realize, the Chiefs beat the 16-win Jaguars. What an insane thing to have happen. I mean, you go 16-1 and you don't make it to the AFC Championship. That feels like a very, very disappointing season for you. This is not going to be easy by any means, but at least it's at home. Let's go see if we can make it to the Super Bowl for the second time in this video, funny enough. It is AFC Championship time against the Kansas City Chiefs, and this is going to be no easy task. This is the Chiefs we're talking about at the end of the day. They still have Mahomes. They still have got Pacheco. They've still got all of the people. I don't know how if Kelsey's still around or not, but they've still got the core of their team, I would assume. It's 10-10, 17-10. Come on, Tua. Get the job done. Lead this team to the promised land. Get it back to the Super Bowl. You already had a taste of the Super Bowl. You played in it before. 20-17, late fourth quarter. Come on. Waste clock. Field goal 23-17. Defense step up. Defense step up. I think they did. I think the defense stepped up. Waste all the time you can. Run the clock down, boys. We did it. 23-17 victory. It is. The Dolphins are back in the Super Bowl since the very first year when I didn't even do anything to the team and we just base simulated and we got to the Super Bowl. We are back. And this time I actually feel like I have contributed to the team. So if we were to win the Super Bowl, I feel like it would be a successful rebuild because I have contributed. I have signed free agents. Oh man, that was nerve-wracking. Going against the Chiefs is always nerve-wracking, whether it's real life or in a video game. But we get the job done. Who are we taking on in the Super Bowl? That's the big question. Who's it gonna be? It will be the Packers. The Green Bay Packers, who went 14-3, so a game better than us. We will take them on, but we got home field. It's in Hard Rock, the Super Bowl is. So we got home field advantage. We can go and get this done and win the Super Bowl in front of our home crowd. That is the perfect scenario. It's written in the stars, ladies and gentlemen. It has to happen. We've arrived at the Super Bowl. It is game time, man. It is down to the wire. I didn't mean to jump in there. It is down to the wire. We've got to get this done. I mean, we're in our home building. We literally play here 8 or 9 times a season. However they separate. I think it's 8 times, unless we go to overseas for a game. We literally play here every single home game, so we have the advantage, but we are getting shelled right now. Please do not give this up. 21-10. Defense, play better. 24-17. We are in this one. 24-24. There we go. Fight back. We have the heart of a lion. 31-24 Dolphins lead. 31-31. Just end the game. Take the clock down and kick a field goal and win the football game. I don't care how it happens. If we happen. Touchdown, 38-31. Oh my God, defense. Oh my God. It's tied. It's overtime. It's back and forth. Score. Score. Kick the field goal. Win the game. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. 41-38 in overtime. They really gave Jordan Love a crazy hairstyle. I didn't realize. Is that what he has now? Oh my God. We did it. We won the Super Bowl in season 4 of the free agent only rebuild. Unfortunately, we had to let go of Jalen Ramsey, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Phillips, a lot of crucial pieces that could have helped us win the Super Bowl earlier. Oh, but we did it anyway. We did it. And it actually feels like a successful rebuild because I put my stamp on it. I signed guys that were crucial to this team. And Malik Washington might have been the biggest impact of the entire rebuild. And I didn't even have to sign him. He was just here. What a wild video this was. This was definitely more difficult than the previous ones. It made me think a little bit more. It made me stress a little bit more. This one was definitely more difficult. Not like supremely difficult, obviously, but more difficult than I was expecting. And I'm happy that it was more difficult because it gave me a little bit more of a challenge. We don't see any depth trade upgrades on the offense except for Malik Washington goes straight up from normal to superstar. This dude is a freak. If you want to have a good, oh my God, if you want to have a good young player to develop in your franchises, trade for Malik Washington because he's not going to be expensive. He's a normal development sub like 75 overall player when you start. Trade for him and trade for Patrick Paul because Patrick Paul is a freak as well. He was a underrated hero of this video. Oh my God. And Tua's playing up to a 98. And then on defense, Ivan Pace gets star. This dude right here, Warmack, was a freaking stud as well. Jeremiah Warmack, picking him up was an underrated piece. This is probably my favorite pickup that we made in the entire video, was signing Jeremiah Warmack in free agency. I don't know how he got there. I'm not complaining about it. I doubt that he was a guy that I drafted and then re-signed. If he is, I severely made a mistake, and I apologize. I don't think he was on our team that I cut and then re-signed. I don't know. I don't remember. I'll have to go back and watch in the editing and see if it is a guy that we drafted. Because if it is, then I made a huge mistake. But if not, then he's a huge piece to the team. Signing Jeremy Chin was big. Chop Robinson played really well. Never simulated too great, but he did simulate okay. Seiler was a big piece. that we just had on the team. He was simulated really, really well. I'm glad that Bradley Chubb kept playing good enough to not regress, because I was a little bit worried about that. DJ Turner was a big signing. Cam Smith was just a good development piece. Yeah, I made my mark. I definitely made my mark on the team. We definitely signed some guys, Michael Mayer. We signed some big pieces. But we got super, super lucky with this Malik Washington development and with that Jeremiah Washington signing. I mean, those are probably the two biggest things that happened. Oh, we did it. We did it. I didn't think it was going to happen. At least I didn't think it was going to happen in 4 years. It was starting to worry me. I was getting a little bit worried that this was going to be a little bit too difficult and I was going to have to maybe like rethink my game plan on what I was going to have to do. But we get it done. We win the Super Bowl by only signing free agents. We did not trade a player. We did not draft a player. And the guys that we did draft, I cut immediately. So no rookies were on this team unless they were signed by the CP, which I doubt it. I don't think that was because I had full control of everything. So what a wild rebuild video this was. Definitely more challenging than the previous ones, but still not like super, super top tier challenging, which I'm probably going to have to ramp up to in the future. But if you guys enjoyed this one, let me know down below in the comments. Leave a like, really does help out. Subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and in the comments, leave your suggestions if you have any for possible rebuilding challenges in the future that you want to see me take on. But that's going to do it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I truly appreciate it. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.